Year on year, our everyday lives are becoming ever more reliant on financial technology. This technology aims to make people's lives simpler, helping them to achieve greater financial inclusion. FinTech can also create jobs and promote climate responsibility, all for the good of communities worldwide. I'm Duncan Golestani. Welcome to FinTech for Good, a programme from FINTECH Circle and ITN Business. I'm delighted to say I'm now joined by Suzanne Chisti, CEO of FINTECH Circle. Welcome to you, Suzanne. Thank you for coming in. This year's programme is called FinTech for Good. Why is this goodness so important?
The fintech and financial sectors have a huge responsibility towards society overall. So we have to move from doing no harm to doing good by prioritizing ESG focus areas. And in order to do that, we have created this film to explore the power of fintech, to encourage innovation for a better financial well-being of individuals, and also to explain how businesses can embrace fintech innovation to make a real difference in people's lives. And therefore, FinTech for Good, this film, will showcase this current state of play and where we are as an industry, and highlight those fintech companies who offer cutting-edge solutions across payments, insurance, and also for Web 3.0 and the metaverse.
What are the industry opportunities and challenges?
Decentralized finance, or DeFi, is a huge opportunity for financial services. By cutting out middlemen, payments can be completed at lower costs. And so decentralized lending and global payments can be completed at almost zero costs in real time every day of the year. We also see decentralized finance having an impact in emerging markets to provide access to finance for people in order to support with financial inclusion. And eventually, decentralized finance will create a digital ecosystem where value and money can be transferred on blockchains using smart contracts, the way today we transfer data and information on the internet. So that's a huge opportunity, but there are also challenges. And of course, the challenges for decentralized finance is that the user experience still has a long way to go, as have got regulatory frameworks. But I've no doubt that within the next 5 years, all of us will interact with decentralized finance probably every single day.
Can you tell me more about embedded finance?
Yeah. The embedded finance term refers to the fact that financial services and products can be offered by non-financial companies. So an example would be an e-commerce merchant offering a loan or offering an insurance policy at the checkout, or a coffee shop offering a one-click payment, or a department store, offering and issuing a debit card or branded credit card. And the key thing about embedded finance is that it's done outside the going to the bank context. So it means for consumers it's much more convenient because it's part of their journey. And therefore the size of the industry is expected to reach $230 billion in revenues by 2025, which represents a 10-fold increase where we were just 2 years ago.
Now, Suzanne, pensions have been in the news a lot recently, haven't they? Can you tell us about the pension time bomb and how fintech fits in with it?
The issue we've got currently is that lots of people have not enough money to save for their retirement. And that's when we refer to the pension time bomb, because the UK census has shown that only 57% of the UK's population actually save in private pensions. So half of the UK are almost sleepwalking into a retirement without adequate preparations. And that's where fintech comes in, because the fintech sector has developed solutions to make saving easier, to make investments easier from a young age to retirement, to allow more people to have a pension and a retirement savings which are sufficient for a dignified life at old age.
big question for you now, Suzanne. What do you think the future looks like?
The current financial crisis has got a sweeping impact on UK consumers. This impacts how much money people have at any point in time, and it impacts how SMEs deal with potential defaults. So the priority is to create a financial system that caters to all. Even in the UK, we have got 4 million people with no bank accounts. So it's our responsibility as financial sector to protect the vulnerable. With more households running deficits, we can be certain of more late payments, mortgage defaults and bad debts. So how financial services responds to these challenges will determine the future of our society. And as CEO of FINTECH Circle, I am convinced that the fintech sector can contribute to society's safety net in this high inflationary environment by making sure that fintech for good becomes a reality.
Suzanne, thank you so much for such a fascinating insight. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The banking body UK Finance says that cash will account for just 6% of payments within the next 10 years. So with a greater reliance on technology for payments, how will that affect those with access to just notes and coins? We went to see how financial technology can aid social mobility.
We've accelerated towards a cashless society during the COVID-19 pandemic. But where does that leave those without access to this technology?
According to the World Bank, nearly a third of adults globally don't have a bank account. That's more than 1.7 billion people who mainly rely on cash. The Financial Conduct Authority says the banking sector has helped reduce the number of UK adults unbanked from 1.71 million in 2014 to 1.2 million in 2020.
Traditional financial services companies have been successful in many ways, but they have struggled to meet the needs of millions in underserved communities. So we have got millions of people worldwide who have got no access to bank accounts. We have got small companies who don't have access to the capital they need for support and for growth. And that's where fintech comes in, because fintech offers products at lower costs and in a more affordable ways on the mobile phone to those underserved by existing financial services. In addition, fintech education is key for social mobility.
UK Finance says in 2021, nearly 60% of all payments were made by card. Nearly a third of those were contactless. Cash payments have declined by 62% in 2006 to just 15% in 2021.
It is so important to focus on this now, because we're living in an environment where costs have gone up, inflation is at a 40-year record, and many households in the UK, in fact 40% of households in the UK have the choice between heat or eat, which is completely unacceptable. And therefore financial inclusion has to be a top priority to ensure that even the 4 million people in the UK who've got no bank accounts, get access to bank accounts.
FINTECH Circle and Crown Agents Bank are both working to increase financial inclusion.
Crown Agents Bank is at the heart of social mobility and financial inclusion, especially in some of the hardest to reach countries in the world. Today, we provide our services to remittance companies so that they are able to pay beneficiaries. Think about the core of it, right? Someone sending money back home. It could be for family maintenance. It could be for sustenance. It could be to enable people to set up new businesses. Then we also have a lot of these international development organizations that are sending development aid across the world. What we do is, by removing middlemen, we are able to deliver a lot more of the funds directly to the end beneficiary. A lot of these people are now migrating across to mobile platforms, and we find, that's the new ways of actually enabling payments across the world.
What do you think the future looks like?
We've got crypto, we've got digital currencies, we've got central banks that are now getting involved in this entire space. And pretty soon, I think we'll come to a virtual world where all financial services will be enabled.
I think often in difficult economic times, new solutions are being developed which help significant portions of our society. And today we have got fintech companies out there which help women and specifically target and support women on their financial journeys. And we have got companies out there who help financially excluded people, such as the homeless in the UK, which are now able to accept credit card payments and debit card payments when they sell the big issue on the roads across UK cities. So I think we will see more innovation which really services those people in need across our society.
With the emergence of Web3 and the metaverse, the future of finance can feel like uncharted territory. Headquartered in Norway, Real-Time offers white-labelled solutions to trusted financial and non-financial partners, with the aim of making Web3 decentralised finance the new normal for people and businesses worldwide.
Instead of having
Describing themselves as a disruptive, purpose-driven technology company changing the game in the new world, Real-Time has built what they say is the world's first global Web3 financial ecosystem, on top of their own Layer 1 Proof of Authority blockchain.
For example, if I'm lending out to the marketplace...
Co-founder and inventor Frode van der Luck started the idea behind Real-Time at King's College London in 2018. There he invented a more secure Layer 1 blockchain, especially designed for Web3 financial services, changing the way people and businesses financially interact and transact.
So in fact we started thinking about, yes, we could possibly use some kind of blockchain, but in the end we didn't find any public blockchain that was really good for us. So we started in August last year to build our own blockchain. Basically, we built something that was totally new in the market, and based on this kind of own blockchain, financial platform on top, we could reach the global market really fast.
We're focusing on the biometric card as well. We want to have that later this year with an ID certification back of the card. So that's obviously where it's going now, but we want to have a global perspective of things. We want to reach anyone and everywhere.
Real-Time believes they're at the forefront of an exciting new Web3 and metaverse movement and revolution that anyone can join from anywhere in the world. By collaborating with trusted local, regional and international partners worldwide, they're aiming for 100 million people, merchants and businesses by 2025.
We're operating globally. We have subsidiaries in this country, as well as in El Salvador and Lithuania. And we have a team scattered all around the world. It's like we are one big family running this company and believing in our mission.
And that mission is to give people and businesses the freedom to thrive without traditional restrictions and to help companies connect to the worlds of Web3 and metaverse. In addition, Real-Time guarantees people's identity through their easily accessible proprietary Web3 technology. They're also offering a next-generation decentralized exchange, the Real-Time DEX, to revolutionize cross-border trade and offer innovative ways of financing. Telecom companies, financial institutions and trusted brands can build their own financial ecosystem within 3 weeks, known as Fast Track to Web3.
We have, for example, a financial partner in Mexico that is coming up now. They want to have the whole thing that Real-Time is building, both the blockchain, their own token on top, and of course the financial platform like lending, peer-to-peer payment for free, creating joint account. So it is really a fast track to fintech or Web3.
Fintech might not have the most obvious connection to kickboxing, but Real-Time's new Web3 and Metaverse ambassador believes it's the perfect combination to break down the barriers of today's centralized systems.
I love that Real-Time has something like disruptive energy. So that's why you can, connect it with something like martial arts, kickboxing, like fighting, because in order to change, to make an impact in the world and lead to a change, you have to be disruptive, you have to be, a game changer, you have to be like really a fighter and go through the walls, even if it's difficult.
As a fintech for good company with headquarters in Norway, Realtime is scaling up their operations, partnerships and networks with Nordic trust, honesty and transparency.
If you want to transact money, you want to know that it goes to the other side, your friends and your family, in a safe way, that your account doesn't get closed out of nowhere because you trust real-time. That's why I think the Nordic values that we have are very strongly ingrained in our business.
UK insurance providers face a complex mix of challenges, from claims inflation to the evolving needs of consumers. Founded in 2011, Policy Expert's proprietary technology and data analytics support its aim to make insurance more accessible, fairer and simpler for customers, from pricing right through to claims.
Let's get some jam on here.
Joe Lewis knows the value of having home insurance from a trusted provider. For when she was away on holiday, her teenage daughter Beth came home to an unpleasant surprise.
So what happened that night?
So Beth came back from camping. It was about 11, 12 o'clock at night. She was sitting here having something to eat and she could hear something. She didn't know what it was at that point. So she came through here and her feet were soaking.
A rapid escape of water from a tank had come through the ceiling and was flowing down the stairs. But despite the late hour, the claims team at Policy Expert were on hand to advise and take action.
It was just fantastic how they dealt with us. It was very quick, very efficient. They actually got a team to come down, to come and put dryers in, take all the carpet up. It's something you wouldn't expect, to make sure that Beth felt okay about what's happening, you know, and that we were able to still enjoy our holiday and not worry about it and not worry about our daughter at home. So I feel the service we got was immense, very personal.
Policy Expert was set up with the mission to make home and indeed car insurance more accessible, fairer and simpler for customers from end to end. The idea was to disrupt an industry based on outdated tech and outdated mindsets.
Policy Expert is an insurtech that's unique. Its proprietary cloud-based technology and powerful data analytics allows for a vertically integrated operating model. This means full control from pricing to claims and a seamless journey for customers.
From day one, we've built the technology completely from the ground up, blank piece of paper, with the customer at the heart of what we wanted to achieve. So we're not encumbered by legacy, fragmented systems. We've built the system with the customer in mind to solve for the problems of today's customer in today's market.
And this means the right cover can be provided for what people really need. What's more, the tech allows Policy Expert to be proactive and support people when it's needed most.
The software and hardware that we currently use allows us to provide weather alerts to warn homeowners of any potential flooding risks. We also have our first response vans that are ready, fully equipped with our rapid drying technology. We had a scenario not so long ago where we had the vans already on the street. We were aware the floods were coming. We were able to contact one of our customers who was at work at the time and ask them if we had permission to gain entry to their property. Nice thing about that was we were able to get in, move all their furniture upstairs before the floods occurred.
And with 1.2 million customers and growing, this great value and service is proving popular.
We've got fantastic ratings from customers. We've got over 50,000 five-star reviews across various review sites. We're the #1 rated home insurer, and we're now the fastest growing home insurer in the UK. Some of the other operational metrics that we've achieved, market-leading renewal rates, well above market average, largely because we haven't tried to price walk customers at renewal, and that has given us a much more loyal customer base that wants to renew with us and buy other products.
I've already renewed my policy this year. It was, you know, a done deal as far as I'm concerned, because I don't think you get that service anywhere else, you know, and how personal it was to me and what they did for my family, you know, was very unique.
Policy Expert aims to be the most successful insurance disruptor that its customers want to stay with for life, embracing technology to improve people's lives.
The fintech revolution has reshaped the retail financial services landscape in the last decade, yet cross-border settlements and payments can be stuck in the past. RTGS Global says that its global settlement fabric enables instant, secure and 24/7, 365 payment versus payment settlement, solving today's challenges with international transactions while preparing for tomorrow's.
The world's biggest financial centres have revolutionised retail banking by embracing the latest technologies to transform the customer experience. The challenge now for wholesale markets is matching that momentum by changing the way they operate to make the international payments network fit for purpose in the 21st century.
There's a huge amount of friction in wholesale cross-border payments, whether that be through delay, whether that be through lots of correspondence along the way in transmitting money cross-border, and also the invisibility of liquidity. So banks will enter into transactions paying one side of a transaction in the hope that the other side arrives, and that can be a few days apart. So we've got a very old legacy network that really stitches together the planet for cross-border payments, and it's really time now to modernise that.
This is our commercial bank portal.
At RTGS Global's London offices, a new payments platform developed in partnership with Microsoft is providing the opportunity to revolutionise the movement of money in wholesale markets.
So it's an online web application that allows treasury functions of the bank to actually interact with the network, and they can actually see where liquidity resides across the globe, and they can interact with those other banks.
This peer-to-peer trading capability will enable orders to be raised and settled in real time.
This is my available liquidity balance. I've signed in as the Commercial Bank of Leeds, and I want to source some US dollars, so I don't have any. I want to get those on demand. I know the IBAN that I want to make an ultimate payment to, and I'm going to I need 750,000 USD. You can see I've got an indicative rate come back, and that's come back from my partnering bank that I've identified for US dollars as a Commercial Bank of Seattle. So what I'm going to do is what we call an atomic lock, or lock the transfer. We lock the liquidity at both ends. So what I'm going to do is carry out what we call an atomic settlement. And what that does is actually, across the network, we now settle the balances at both Commercial Bank of Leeds and the Commercial Bank of Seattle. So I now own those $750,000.
So that's it, transaction complete?
Transaction complete, yeah. It takes about 800 milliseconds from some of the largest parts of the globe. So New York to Singapore is where we've benchmarked that.
Using the atomic lock replaces the need for stable coins, cutting friction in the system, as well as risk, time and cost.
We've been working in collaboration with Microsoft for the last few years to build our global platform. Our platform sits within the Azure global cloud, so all of the safety and soundness and resilience that Microsoft bring to the fore. We run our entire network on the Microsoft Azure cloud. And then we run our ledger within their services. So as banks transact across our network, we maintain our ledger in order to show those transactions. So it's really the advent of new technology that's enabled us to bring together the globe to enable this to happen in milliseconds.
Simplifying wholesale transactions also opens up opportunities for developing new products and services. Streamlining processes also reduces risk and has the potential to make markets more sustainable.
There's been a lot of research in this space by the G20 over the last couple of years. The Financial Stability Board have pulled together a plan, a call to arms, if you like, to modernise, improve and de-risk the cross-border system, let's say. And RTGS Global, we're looking at bringing a solution to the market that we think enables all of those risks to go away.
A point-to-point bilateral network, improving both visibility and accessibility across liquidity markets.
We're taking all of the aspects of what works today, payment versus payment. We're taking central bank money, so using reserves on our network that are supported by central bank funds, and also the adherence to the principles for financial market infrastructures, the PFMI, using those principles to build a safe, solid, resilient framework around all of that, but bringing some innovation to it. So bringing new technology, enabling instant peer-to-peer settlement, but it's preserving all of the things that we hold dearly in financial services today.
Natural disasters can have catastrophic financial effects on people who need to rebuild their homes and lives after such devastation. A quick and efficient response to these situations is crucial. Using groundbreaking technology, FINTECH is committed to delivering funds as quickly as possible when a claim comes in, helping people when they need it most.
Across the world, natural disasters such as hurricanes and floods devastate lives and livelihoods. 90% of smaller companies fail within a year unless they can resume operations within 5 days. To survive and get back on their feet, people need insurers to pay quickly. This is how most of us live our lives, shopping and browsing online. One click of a button and we get what we want fast. And this is how easy we expect it to be when being paid by insurers. FINTECH, a London-based fintech, has developed a platform that allows cross-border payments for insurers to pay a claim in real time.
So processing cash through the market can be a fairly convoluted process and can take up to 3 weeks. Because we're holding larger pots of cash on behalf of the market, that enables us to be more dynamic and flexible, and we can pull funding down from those pots of cash to service a claim within minutes.
The challenge for the slow-moving insurance industry is to find ways to provide coverage for a rapidly changing risk environment. More and more companies are turning to parametric insurance, which pays out when a pre-agreed metric is reached, such as floodwater reaching a certain height. FINTECH has partnered with parametric insurtech company Floodflash.
When a storm called Franklin hit the UK, we were able to pay a full commercial flood claim, and that's not from claim submitted to claim approved, which is how most insurers would measure it, but that's from water hitting the client's building to cash hitting their bank account in 5 hours and 36 minutes. And that is not just a vanity metric. That number makes a material difference to the survival of that business.
Yukahu is a climate risk insurance platform focused on helping vulnerable communities. Recently, they launched a hurricane employee benefit in the Caribbean.
What we've developed is a product that will be bought by the business as a benefit for their staff. But when the policy triggers, FINTECH enables us not to pay the business, but to pay each individual member of staff so that they wake up the day after the event happened and the money is there for them to make the best of what they, of their own situation. And that's the power of the technology.
Flooding is the UK's main climate-related threat. In February 2020, Storm Ciara saw winds reach up to 93 miles per hour, and a month and a half's worth of rainfall delivered in a day. The quick response from Floodflash and FINTECH meant businesses could get on with recovery.
We've had payment within, as I say, less than 24 hours.
Now, initially we got told that we're going to be a 2-week turnaround. It happened in 2 days.
And it's not just about speed of payment, it's how it's paid.
Typically, where there's a claim, these scenarios are incredibly emotional for the consumers. And so they want to be paid how they want to be paid. So we provide them with a variety of payment methods to cater all age demographics.
FINTECH covers 170 countries in over 100 currencies.
Almost every country in the world has a flood underinsurance problem. A single platform that allows us to help more people to recover from catastrophe.
We set up the company to help people, and particularly vulnerable people, as these events become more frequent. And speed of payment is critical. It's not acceptable to wait weeks for these people. These people have potentially lost everything, and so the immediacy of receiving funds allows them to take care of their family and support the people in their community, and FINTECH enables that.
Making cross-border banking services accessible and reliable is paramount to driving growth and development across the globe. Quant is working to create a new digital payment network that will transform lives and markets by enabling seamless cross-border transactions and expanding access to financial inclusion to millions of people.
Today's modern payment system makes almost everything easier. In London, riding the Underground means a simple touch of your phone or bank card at the turnstile. But as digital payments get faster, some regions of the world are in danger of being left behind. In Latin America, around half of people don't have a bank account at all, and about 80% don't have a credit card. That means hundreds of millions of people without access to crucial financial tools like payments, loans, or money transfers. The team at Quant believes blockchain technology can bring financial inclusion to the entire region, going beyond the traditional banking system to help serve the so-called unbanked.
By implementing blockchain technology, they're able to leapfrog all the legacy infrastructure and the barriers that they've had in the past to real world, real time, and digital assets in a very short period of time, benefiting people by having better payment systems to facilitate more innovation, stronger GDP growth, and allowing for seamless trade between the different parties.
Quant founder and CEO Gilbert Verdian is an expert in using blockchain for payments. Blockchains are like digital records, storing information about transactions or contracts. Quant's platform called Overledger makes developing for different blockchains easy. It links them and other legacy systems together, allowing financial services to cross digital and physical borders.
Our approach is bringing the technology to the masses, and you can't be limited by geography. The very nature of blockchain is global, and the very nature of how society and businesses operate today is through globalization, is also global.
Now Quant is providing digital payments for an ambitious project called LACchain, which links 12 countries in Latin America and the Caribbean, along with scores of regional institutions, businesses, and governments.
So in a region as Latin America and the Caribbean, where there's different countries, where different currencies, different jurisdictions, we have always tried to build LACchain as an infrastructure that could allow the development of solutions that would help cross-border payments and financial inclusion.
LACchain will give anyone with a smartphone the power to make and receive payments and send money abroad, making it a potential game changer for those without access to traditional banks.
I want to pay my friend and they're in Colombia and I'm in Panama. So I press pay, go into my contacts, and the network knows who they are. They have a digital identity as well. That's it. Then I just tell them how much do I want to pay, and I hit pay.
LACchain could also help when disaster strikes. Distributing government aid to victims of natural disasters can be slow and expensive. But with LACchain, funds could arrive in a flash.
They have an app on their phone where you can just push the money straight to it. Right? It doesn't cost you any of that. It's immediate. As long as they've got mobile phone service, then they've got money they can spend with a QR code, right, in the grocers and the shops, so they can buy food, they can buy water, they can buy all of the things that they need directly with their phone on the day.
LACchain is about more than just financial inclusion. It's also designed to arm people with the digital tools they need to thrive in the modern world. Something like a digital ID card, which can be tough to get and isn't always transferable between countries.
It's a much bigger idea, really, because the whole point of this regional network, and a lot of them actually, is to bring a lot of what people's lives are, which are in lots of separate different areas, bring them together, make them easier, make everything easier. So you're traveling between regions, doing business with other countries, making payments between countries. It lowers these kind of the big walls that you have, the big walls of red tape, really, between countries within that region.
Quant will help officially launch the LACchain project in 2023, with the potential to rocket an entire region into the future.
That's it from us. Thank you for watching FinTech for Good. All our reports are available to view on the FinTech Circle website. The details are on screen now. From me and the team here, goodbye.